Hello, beautiful people. How are we doing? Just going to put on some sacred oils. We'll see how everyone's going. Let me know where you're from. Let me know how you're doing in these interesting times with interesting energies. Let me just smudge my cards. So, I have had a very, very interesting time of it. I just think that this month's energies as we lead up to the grand conjunction or whatever it's called on December 21st is going to be really, really interesting. Who have we got coming in? We have got Jen, Shakti, Ray Louise, Melissa. How are we all doing? You know, like I have energetically with time, it's just been up and down. I'll be tired one moment, then buzzed the next. I've had a few headaches and then I'm fine and I'm cheerful. Like it's just been really, really interesting. And I just think this entire month is going to be just so transformative and a time where we can really work with what's happening astrologically so that we can, you know, really work things out for them. And a lot of karma and patterns are being brought up. So it's very, very interesting. We've got Lorraine feeling quite good. Yes, we'll get into some readings. You've been a little bit all over the place the last few days, Melissa. That pretty much describes it. It's like on one side of my brain and body, I'm doing like all this esoterical work and pondering the weight of the universe and my future and what's going on globally. And then the other half is like super grounded and just doing the day-to-day stuff. And yeah, this has been really interesting. So I've just smudged my cards. We will get into some readings. So I have a storm which is going past Brisbane Way with a bit of lightning. So it's not heading towards me, but just in case you have any connection issues, it's just Mother Nature. And just refresh your page and the feed should come back through. Now, the other thing to remember is that sometimes with this particular StreamYard, the comments will come through in big blocks. So if you see me kind of coming towards the end of a reading with somebody, just re-comment your question. I don't mind if we have multiple comments and I can see you coming through, because if you ask for a reading and then you don't ask again, you may get lost. And also it would be lovely if you can share this feed to any groups or to your page or anyone that'll be interested, just to show a little bit of support. So let's see what we have got and who have we got. Might start with you, Melissa. So I'm just going to give general guidance because you haven't asked for a specific area. So if you need something with finance, if you need something with friendship, your spirituality, any of those things, just ask in the questions. So Melissa, let's see what comes up for you. Wow, straight up, boom, Melissa is an initiation card. So it's Aletheia. There's only 8 initiation cards in the entire deck. And Aletheia is all about truth. It's all about wisdom. So it's lessons of truths coming forth. So how, you know, are you telling the truth to yourself? Are people around you lying to you and you're kind of sensing it? This is a really interesting card when it comes through, because sometimes you can have, like you can be in retail and you're used to kind of telling a bit of a story in order to sell. and then all of a sudden it becomes deeply uncomfortable. So it's like lies, and also speaking anything less than the truth can really be a little bit upsetting. So lots of questioning on all different layers. So, you know, are you lying to yourself with friends and family? Are you deeply wanting to step up and do something, change career, do all these different things, and you've been squashing that down? So initiations come up when we must change. So let's just see. What other cards have we got for you, Blossom? You have a second initiation card. I've been doing readings for months, and I don't think I've ever had anyone with back-to-back initiation cards. Melissa, are you going through an incredibly bizarre time, like with like lots of epiphanies and lots of change, and almost possibly thinking you're going a bit mental? Because when you have double initiation cards, like that's like a huge transformation. Give me a second. I've certainly been going within, searching for inner truth. That's that Alethea. So you got Animal Monday. So that's the connection with all things. It's quite shamanic. It's very deeply spiritual. So it can be animal messages. It can be signs. It's your intuition getting activated more than ever. It can be gifts and talents coming on board. And like if you're being called to do something psychic or something spiritual or healing or chain teacher, any of those kinds of things, then, you know, you've got to look into the truth of the matter. Like, this is a huge reading. I'm almost scared to pull your third card. And remember, there's only 8 initiation cards in the entire deck. Okay. Ooh, you got the King. So that's all about action, but it's all about taking, it's that divine masculine inside of you. So your intuition is like really being kicked in, where your feminine side, where you're having to work with your intuition. But that King is very much about taking action, but it's for the greater good. Remember, a king can be a benevolent king who is looking out for the people who his subjects, or he can be the petty tyrant and the petty king and egotistical. So while you're going through all this, it's all about action, but it's also being good for the greater good, being of service, you know, for other people, and taking that action. So I feel like you're losing my. I understand, Melissa, and take it really, really easy. I only draw 3 cards, so I can't tell you any more. If you need a further reading, you're more than welcome to contact me, and we can go from there. But that's very interesting. Go with the flow. Trust yourself. Look for the truth. Look for your intuition and take action upon the intuition. That's the easiest way I can sum up a very potent reading. Okay, let's have a look. 150 stars. I'll get you a general reading, lovely. I don't really know what the star thing is, but people give them to me and I'm very thankful. So let's see what's coming up for you, Jen. Ta-da. Oh. Have I got the most cosmic people on the entire planet watching me right now? Because second person, another initiation card. There's only 8 in the entire deck. There's like 70 something cards and there's only 8. So Eros is the love of all things. So this is a very potent card, Jen, and it's about falling in love and feeling that nourishment and sensuality and love for all things. So when you listen to a song, you appreciate the song on a deep level. When you see dancing or do dancing, you embody it and it's like amazing. When you eat food, it's not just oh, I need to eat food. It's like really loving it. So it's basically a card that's telling you to fall back in love with all areas of life and loving yourself on such a deep level. So if you have any self-worth issues, self-love issues, oh baby, that one's going to be coming up for you. You know, you have to really be looking at that, because this is a prime directive. It's a huge initiation card about sensuality and love of yourself in all things. So let me get you another card. The vow. So you need to make a sacred vow to yourself. So you need to work with that Eros energy and where you need to find love in your life, from where you need to appreciate love more, and you need to make a vow to do it. A sacred vow, you can't, once you make a sacred vow, you can't hide from it. So it's a very potent archetype, and it's a very potent thing coming through for you. So you must declare to the universe, I'm putting myself first. It's my time. It's time I find all aspects of myself and love all aspects of myself. It's really potent. Let me get you a third card, honey. The King, which is taking action as well. So you can't hide from it. You know, the King is like, as I said just before, taking that action, making sure it's for the greater good. You don't get egotistical. So you don't, hey, I'm having me time because, you know, get all egotistical about it. No, you're taking me time for deep nurturing and self-love, you know, really feeling it, you know, I'm worthy of this time. So, you know, this is a really, really beautiful reading, Jen. And you're going to be going on a really important journey of loving everything in life. You must make the vow, though. You must go, I am so ready to put myself first and to fall in love with all aspects of everything and just have so much nourishment and soul joy. And I want it, and I demand it, and I want it now. That's the vow. That's what you need to bring in. And then you take that action, because that King is there, King with his mighty sword, you know, so that's really potent. But this is a really lovely reading. Okay, so I'm just going to smudge my cards, guys. Wait 1 second. Did that make sense, Jen? Okay. So we have got Pauline. Shared, please. May I have a card? So I'm just going to do general because I haven't got any specifics. Well, let's see what comes through for you, Pauline. Oh, the box. This is a really potent one, which I think's been in everybody's energy fields. See how it's a little light, which is your spec, and then all these boxes. So it's not wanting to be confined. So it's like, I'm glad, Jen, that resonated for you. And good luck with that journey of self-love. Sometimes it's a little bit full on. You're more than welcome. I have a Facebook group called Sovereign Circle with Jess Beard, and you are more than welcome to come and join. It's a free group. If you need support on your journey of self-love and you want to make that sacred vow, at the beginning of each month we talk about what we're wanting to do, and at the end of each month we talk about, hey, how did things go? We have a free Zoom chat. So it's about working with your intentions and also staying in that space of like, okay, I'm working on this. So you're more than welcome, if you really want to make that vow and work on your self-love, you can come join the group, because I love supporting people. It's what makes me, you know, super excited. And oh look, Diana's just on, and she's in part of the group, so she can tell you. Diana, do you like the group, the Sovereign group? So back to Pauline, the box. So the box is about confinement. You don't want to be confined by society. You don't want to be confined by your own self. So if you have dreams and wishes and things that you're wanting to do, this card is really asking you to burst through those confinements. If you've got self-doubt, self-critics, if you've self-love, empowerment issues, self-esteem issues, like this card's really asking you to push through all that, because that spark is in there wanting to come forth. This is you wanting to come forth. But not just that, if anyone's trying to confine you, shove you back in a box, or society is trying to confine you and put you back in a box, this is you wanting to burst forth. So this is really strong energy. It's telling me that you want to transform. There's things inside of you that want to come out, and you got to burst through those boxes. I've almost said burst through those boxes, baby. Like it's a real, it's a potent, very potent energy. Well, let's see what else comes through for you, Pauline. The gem. Once again, the gem is all about certain facets of yourself. So see how there's all little facets in that gem? So this is parts of yourself that you want to come forth. If you want to write a book, if you want to paint a picture and become a painter, if you want to do stuff with clay, oh, my ear just popped. If you're wanting to sing, or if you're wanting to channel, or if you're ignoring spirit in any way, my ear just blocked, like, interestingly. So, if there's parts of you that's wanting to come forth, now's the time to burst through those boxes and show those facets. This is very clear. I'm going to get you another one, Pauline, but this is really, I can't begin to describe to you how strong the energy I'm getting is. It's like I'm being pushed from behind. So you must do this. Otherwise, we end up blocking our own field, our own energy. We get health problems, or things start to go wrong because we're ignoring spirit and our higher self. And then that's when, spirit goes, knock, knock, knock. I've been trying to tell you for like the last couple of years, you've got to do this. And then they start knocking louder, and things become a little bit more difficult until we take that action. Your third card, Pauline, is the Mother. So this almost makes me think it's got two messages. I feel like maybe your mother wasn't as supportive, and maybe there's some or there's some patterns, or like your mother was very humble, or didn't like to show herself or be heard, or very shy or socially reclusive, and you're going to have to burst through that patterning so you can step up and show your expressions. Be seen, be heard. Be seen, be heard is what I'm getting. Be seen, be heard. So you can also use that powerful mother energy, and it's a full-on archetype mother. It's like number one in the whole deck. And you can mother yourself. You can give yourself that permission to nourish yourself. And it's also literally the divine feminine as well. So you're helping the divine feminine rise by taking control and taking action and going, hey, it's my time. It's time for me to step up, rise up, and roar. And maybe I should turn that into the coaching program, Rise Up and Roar. I like that name. Anyway, I'm going to go to the next person. I really hope that resonated. Do it. It's time. Do it, do it, do it. So, who else have I got? Lanel Olmos. Don't know if I said that one correctly. General reading. Let's have a look, darling. What is coming forth for you? Oh, wow. I haven't had this card in so long, and I absolutely love this one, Lanelle. It's the ocean. So this is, it's about exploring your depths. When you see the ocean, it's actually quite mysterious because it's beautiful on the top, but underneath you don't know what's lurking beneath the surface. So this tells me that you're in a reflective time and there's something that you might be wanting to do and it looks really pretty, but you're actually a bit frightened of it. So it's almost like wanting to start a business or starting something new. And you're like, I don't know about that. That's actually quite scary. And it's asking you to really look beneath the surface. You know, if you're having these ideas and these creative ideas, look for what is beneath the surface. What's the fears? What's holding you back? And that's a really interesting card. Now, let's have a look what else comes through for you, my dear. Oh, the seed. The seed is highly creative. It can also be a warning that you can have so many creative ideas that you try and do them all and then fail because you're trying to do them all. So instead of planting 100 seeds and trying to grow 100 seeds, pick 1, 2, or 3. Grow them until they're a solid sapling. The lightning was just really scary out there. So grow them and do it bit by bit. You can grow 3 seeds or 3 trees, and then 6 months later grow 3 more and you've got a grove. 12 months later you've grown 6 more and all of a sudden you've got a forest, etc. So don't get overwhelmed by too many creative ideas. Just pick the ones that truly resonate and go from there. Remember, that ocean is asking you to look for what's your fears holding you back, what lurks beneath. And then you've got the prayer. So the prayer is beautiful. I don't care what religion you are or whether you're an atheist, you can always pray because it's how you co-create. So you don't go, hey, God, please give this to me. If you do that, I'm going to give up milk for a week. You don't bargain with God. What you do is you go, hey, can you show me what I need to work on to release the fears so that I can create what I want? Show me what my fears are. Work with that ocean card. So prayer is about really asking for the truth to be shown to you and then being really observant. When I say a prayer, I'm like, I don't know what's going on, guys. And if the information doesn't come to me myself, the next day I'll hop on Facebook and boom, there's all these similar messages. Or a friend from the US will email me something random and it's the answer. Or I'll go shopping and there's 2 people talking about something and that's the answer. God or the universe or whatever you're wanting to call it will answer you if you ask the right question. You don't bargain. So, still waters run deep. Correct. So I'm glad that one's resonating with you. Whatever is your fears, darling, it's time to pray for to be shown what they are and really step up. I get a really excited feeling for you. Work with that seed energy and just grow a few things. Don't try and grow everything, if that makes sense. Okay. Kelly Turner. Let's see what's happening for you, my sweet. Ooh, you got the vision first up. Beautiful archetype. This is asking you to look at what you're wanting to envision for your future, and you can hold the vision. It's a really potent energy. So it's manifesting, and it's looking like long distance. It also can be literally your third eye activating as well, like your vision and your visionary. But really, it's also, it's long-term vision. And no matter what happens to you, you hold that vision and you believe it. You've got an initiation card. It was your second one. So this is telling me it's more manifestation and spiritual gifts and spirituality as well, because gnosis is about innermost knowing and mystical truths. It's trusting your intuition. It's working with your soul. It's, synchronicities, it's signs, it's the pursuit of spiritual knowledge, and really predominantly trusting your intuition. So if you're wanting to manifest something, these are two incredibly potent cards for it. Ooh, and you've got the medallion, which is striving for something and getting it. It's like also you can wear an amulet, which is going to help you hold that vision. So say you're wanting to manifest something, you can have a necklace or an amulet or a statue or something that represents it. And whenever you have doubts, you can, rub the amulet and it just brings you back. I think it also means like actually getting whatever you're wanting to manifest. So it's a highly, highly spiritual, but really positive reading about, if you've been striving for something, you're going to get it if you hold the vision, trust your intuition, and work with your intuition, because you'll get your goal that way. Oh, that was more really bad lightning. Okay, so let's see what we have got next. Did that make sense, Kelly? Oh, Shakti, I was just went to click on you and I clicked on Amanda. So I'll do Amanda first, but then I'll pop back to you, Shakti. Just remind me. Okay, Amanda. So with archetypes, sometimes what comes through is what you need to work on yourself with relationships. And sometimes it's, about the relationships together. So are you wanting to manifest a relationship and you're currently single, or are you wanting information on a current relationship? The mentor. That's interesting. Relationships. Let's have a look. The prayer. Let's have a look. Okay. So these cards are all seeking cards. So yes, you're single. That makes sense. So I'm a little bit confused as why the mentor came in. So this could be the type of it could be where you're giving your power away in past relationships, is that you saw them as intellectually or like more adult, almost like they were older than you. And I feel like you're either really attracted to intellectual people who you can have stimulating conversations with, but it's almost like it's a little bit of a warning as well not to give your power away. I really was confused as why that one came up, but the other two are, prayer is calling it in, and the hunter is telling me that, this is you in pursuit of a relationship, but you get to it. Once the hunter energy comes in, you keep hunting until you get it. You can't get out of that energy of the hunter. It's a compulsive energy. So it's telling me that you actually really want a relationship. But this mentor card, it's like you have to be really clear with exactly who you're wanting to manifest in, because you've got that prayer card, which means you can call it in. You can, consciously ask for it. But that mentor is really interesting, because it's like you don't want to give your power away, but you need to be very clear on who, are you wanting someone that's more intellectual? Are you wanting someone that's more adult? I kind of get like you want a grown-up, not a child. Did you have in your past relationships, were they quite childish? Oh, hang on, it just popped up. I used to be very codependent. Okay, so you need to be really clear. I mean, even get down a pen and a piece of paper on what you did wrong in your previous relationship, and then what you want, so that you, I don't know, wrong is a what lessons did you learn from your previous relationships and that you don't want to repeat, and what are the key aspects that you want in your new partnership? Because that's going to be like, these two cards are like you're hunting it down. You can ask for it and pray for it. That's really very manifesting energy, these two. So they're ready and willing. But this one's here is just like, be smart about it. Don't repeat your patterns, and be super clear. Because if you are in manifesting, you don't want to manifest the same lessons. You want to be really clear. But I'm going to take this as a really positive sign. So over the next month, really work on that, on what you're wanting. And then, you know, December 21st is a really potent energy day. Maybe you make a sacred vow of exactly what you're wanting to call in and what you're ready to release. And I'm hoping that in the new year, you find that new partner. Yeah, exactly. You want a real man. I get that. It's like, you don't want a child, but with that mentor energy, you also don't want somebody who's going to talk down to you. So you're going to have to be really, really specific. Okay. So we had Shakti as next. Okay. Let's see, Shakti. Now, did you have any questions, Shakti? There is that one there, about psychic abilities. Okay, so what archetypes need to come through? I'll just smudge before we do this. Okay, so in the description, I have put the link to my Facebook page and also the Facebook group. And actually, I also put a link for if you want a chat for coaching. So I coach there's a couple of different programs, and one's a 21-day intensive, and the others is an 8-week coaching, which goes much deeper into all your archetypes and your self-esteem systems. So if you're interested, there's a free coffee chat with me, and I'll be able to see if I can be of service to you. But remember, you can also like my page or join my group, because I do random pop-up free readings there as well, and I teach about archetypes. So you get to understand these and other archetypes better. Okay, Shakti. What archetypes does Shakti need to know around her psychic abilities? Okay, so you got that hunter straight up. So it tells me that you've been on the journey for a while, really seeking and desiring psychic abilities. It's a compulsive energy. So once you're really, you know, even if you have, you know, tons of psychic abilities now, it's like a directive that you want more. There's more to come. There's more to, you desire more, better understanding to be better at it. Let's see what else comes through. You've got that creator. That's potent. It's co-creation at its best with the universe. So that's telling me that you most definitely can use it. Now let's see if you're making any comments. Whoops, I've hit the wrong person. Sandy, what happened to Shakti? There's Shakti. Okay. Okay, Shakti. So I have a better understanding, Shakti. Do you already have gifts and talents that you're working with, or are you knowing that you have some and you need to bring them forth, or what stage are you at? Because that hunter is such a compulsive energy. I'm not sure whether or not you've already got some and you want some extra strengthening of it, or you just plain don't trust what you've already got. That's correct. The gem. So the reading's quite interesting. You have that compulsive energy of seeking, staying focused and developing your gift. You have that creator energy. So you can, like with what I said with the prayer before, you don't bargain with the universe. You have to work with it and you have to show action. So if you're like, show me how I can expand this gift, then you trust the intuition. Now, quite often when you first start out, and this happened with me, and I'm assuming most other people, you sometimes get some outrageous kind of messages to do, and it really pushes your comfort zone. But then you take that divine action, and it's like a muscle, and you're really opening it up. So if you are thinking about doing Facebook Lives, or if you're thinking of doing anything which will really push you, your third card is the gem, which is gifts and talents and abilities and aspects of yourself. So that's showing me that they'll come forth even stronger. So this creator card is the key to it all. You ask for guidance. Show me how to expand this gift. And then you'll get intuition, and you must take the action and show that divine action so that you're trusting yourself and you're in that co-creation with the universe. So, be brave, do it. But this reading is telling me that, your gifts will get even stronger. You just need to step into them. And like when I work with archetypes, and I've got the priestess archetype, and I've been calling in the seer to strengthen so that I get better at this, and better and better and better. Last Friday, I usually say to people that I won't really ask questions about past loved ones with mediumship, because I just don't really have, hey, I've got to watch my wordings. In the past, I've been very hesitant around it, but I did a reading and it just was so spot on, and it really resonated with the lady. So I'm constantly asking, I want to be a better seer. I want to be a better priestess. Help me to be of more service to people. So I'm working it with the archetypes. It's the same thing. Ask, ask, ask. Take action upon your intuition, no matter how bizarre it might be. I'm really excited to see where you go, where you end up, Shakti. It's really beautiful reading. You're terrified of doing lives. Join my Facebook group. I encourage the ladies to do them. There's quite a few in there that are also terrified of lives. I am so wanting to support people, but you have to ask. I can interview you. I can do all different kinds of things. I'm really wanting to be of service. So just come in. The other thing that you can do is start a Facebook group by yourself, so you're the only member, and then do your Facebook Live in there and no one else can see it. Really potent to start you off. Okay, who have we got next? Ray Louise, anything on my energy development? I'm a magnetist and I would love to know how you see my career developing, please. So with a question like this, Ray, I'm going to ask what archetypes are going to support you with your career, because you've already, you're a magnetist, you know what you're doing, but we're just going to see what archetypes are going to support you more. Oh, Shakti, I interview Victoria Webby, who's been doing light language all around the world for years. I also do a little bit of light language, usually when I do an activation or a prayer for a client to go with their reading, it just comes out, or I'm driving along and it'll come out as well. So I think that's why you're here. Very aligned with light language. When I travel overseas, I did fire priestess training in Mexico, found a lady who does light language, went to Singapore, stumbles across a lady who does light language. It's very much in my field, and I know a lot of people who do it. Okay, back to you, Ray. What archetypes is going to support Ray with her career? Oh, that's a very strong pull. Okay, you got the river, which is surrendering to the flow. So you might be a little bit like me, Ray, and I like to control things or logically know things. And then this card will come through and you're like, no, I've just got to go with the flow. So if you get an idea, like, I'm just going to pop onto this group and I'm going to start talking to these people. If you get that intuition, go with the flow and do it. If someone's saying such and such and you're like, that's a great idea, follow it. It's about working with the universe, but really surrendering to the flow. If you get so caught up in your mental things of like, should I market this? Should I do that? Should I do this? You get stuck as. So you must just really work with your intuition and surrender, surrender, surrender. I'm an Aries, so surrendering is probably one of the hardest lessons I have to learn. The medallion. So that's telling me you'll get success. You'll get that shiny trophy that you're striving for. You'll have your abundance. You've just got to work for it. You've got to work towards it. Go with the flow. Surrender to it. But that's telling me you're going to get it. You're going to have success. Remember what I said about the amulet. You can wear an amulet that symbolizes your success if you've got any fears or doubts or anything else that's like that. And when you're having a fear or doubt, you literally rub your amulet and go from there. The shapeshifter. So that's telling me you're going to be highly adaptable. When you use the shapeshifter in its light, because every archetype has its light and its shadow, when you use the archetype in its light, the shapeshifter is amazing. It can adapt into any situation. But if you've been adapting too much, you don't, like just like the empath and the martyr, if you adapt too much, you lose yourself. And you're like, who am I? What am I going to do? So just be careful to be adaptable, but don't lose yourself by being too much for other people. If you're adaptable for yourself and it serves you, fantastic. If you're adaptable to make other people happy, then you really need to work on this. And you might even be able to help other people who are stuck in their shapeshifter. That's one of the main things I coach with is the shapeshifter, the empath, and the martyr. Well, that's one lot. That'll come underneath the prostitute archetype and all about self-love, self-empowerment and worthiness and things like that. So that it's too hard to describe during a reading, but you could really help some people with that as well. So you absolutely do. Haha. Perfect. Yes, activation is not finished. Okay, so who have we got next? We have got Justine James. So for all the amazing, thank you so much for my readings. I appreciate it. It is such a pleasure, eh? I get so much soul joy out of helping people, and I seem to be really attracting so many women who are, they've been working on all their stuff for X amount of years, and they're just ready for that push, and with the priestess and also I'm an Aries, I've got a little Aries bulldozer, I call it. Like, I believe in people 150%. So any confidence they're lacking, I show them how to find the confidence in different things, but I also believe in them so much that they can't not believe in themselves. So that's one of my superpowers. I call myself a courage activator, and I think it's really exciting, and please let me know how you go, and if you want any support, join that Facebook group. Loveliest bunch of ladies in there. Okay, Justine, will things get better? That's with the archetypes. It either shows me what archetypes is causing the problems or what archetypes need to come through to help you. So we're just going to see what comes through. We have the siren. So the siren is a compulsive energy. It's where we call to us the things that we desire. So let me just see what comes up for your second and third card before I see what type of things it's the judge. Okay, Justine, you have the siren, which in your instance, I actually feel like it's about you being careful that you don't manifest the lessons that you don't want. It's a very compulsive energy, so you call in the lessons. You call in lessons on boundaries. You call in lessons on all kinds of stuff. So if you're wanting for things to get better, you're going to have to hold a crystal clear vision of what needs to happen for you to get out of what you're in. So if you're having housing problems, relationships problems, career problems, or anything else like that, you need to see and focus on the complete opposite. You have Miss Abisola Adenki. I have a troll. Could somebody report the troll for me, because I can't do it from this program. But blessings upon them, and maybe they need food for their table, or who knows. We're not going to judge them, but we're just going to ask Facebook to kick them out. Ironically, the judge card. So we've got that. Be careful what you wish for, because it's highly compulsive. So you're going to have to see yourself, Justine, as the complete opposite of what's going on. So you need to call into you the reality of what you really want. The judge card, I feel like this is twofold. I feel like people are judging you a lot, and you judge yourself as well. So it's like you could be in a judgmental relationship, or your parents judge you. That's a lot of thunder. So hopefully my connection's okay. Not sure what I should do about a house move. Okay. The judge. Now, are you still there, Justine? The healer, this is where you'll be moving into. So that tells me that you're going to be able to have the healing that you're wanting, and that things are going to get better. But you've just got to stop judging yourself. And if you are in a highly judgmental relationship, then you're going to have to assert your boundaries and start working for that to, you don't want to, you're just going to have to start standing up for yourself more if someone is judging you. I know that sounds very blunt, but that's just what's going to have to happen. Do you judge yourself, Justine, or are you, or do others judge you, or is it both? Remember, be absolutely crystal clear on the life that you want. It's a very potent month with very potent energy. We've got the 12th of the 12th. We've got a solar eclipse, and then we've got the grand conjunction on the 21st and the summer solstice. This is like the best month for you to dig around in your life and say, I don't want this, 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 and this, but I want this, and declare it to the universe. Compulsive archetype, you can call in what you're wanting to. Now, I know that this is hard to say to somebody if they're in a lesson where everything's been really hard, because you're like, no, my life sucked for X amount of years, or my life's going through this, or there's a big health problem, or there's all this, and this. But you can, when people come to me and they've been in the different traumas and they've been in the different problems, sometimes it just needs somebody to hold a higher vision of them while you work out your stuff. You can more than welcome join the Facebook group, Sovereign Circle with Jess Beard. I love to support you. If you have girlfriends that are going to stand for you and support you, then spend more time with them. I'm not talking about girlfriends that are going to go, oh, poor you, and like go into the sob stories and all the different stories. I'm talking about women who are going to go, come on, girl, you can do this. You've got this. That's the energy that you need. I hope that made sense, and I hope that helped. You've got that healer, that third card. It's telling me that, you know, things are going to get better, but you're going to have to envision it. And if people are judging you, you're going to have to either get rid of them out of your life or somehow assert your boundaries and make sure that they stop. All right. Now, I've got another beautiful Tadis Dagnu. Could somebody please block them as well? Because I can't. God bless you, Tadis Dagnu. May your family have plenty of food on your table and you get rich and abundant. Now, let's have a little cat. Let's see what's coming up for you, my sweet. We have the forest. So the forest is when we've felt a bit lost. There can be too many, you can't see the forest for the trees. There's also a saying that you've never really walked in a forest unless you've been lost. So it's a slightly confusing time, and sometimes it's like you can't really see where you're going because there's just too much stuff in front of you. There's healing that needs to be done. There's opportunities that might come up. You're just unclear where to go. So it's like you've been very lost. Now let's see what else. The venom. So the venom means that you've been thinking negative thoughts about yourself and toxic thoughts about yourself. You're either that, or you're under psychic attack, or you're around toxic people in a toxic environment. So sometimes it's all three. So for that to come up, you need to really be vigilant. You need to make sure that if you're having venomous thoughts about yourself, that you're going to have to switch that up and turn into self-love. If you're under psychic attack, you need to learn to protect yourself, do regular energy cleanses. If you're in a toxic environment, you need to either see if you can get out of that workplace or the loved ones and spend less time with them, or go get a pendant with some protective things, put sacred oils on, wear, you know, carry crystal in your pocket, anything to try and protect you from that energy. Okay. Oh, I've got a third one. I'm very blessed. Emily Dread, or we'll bless them as well and send them on their way. If someone could please boot them as well. Now, you got the threshold, the final one, Kat, which is telling me that you're coming to that threshold where all your lessons are going to be finally over and you're ready to take a dive. So it's a card where you're expectant of change and things are going to shift. So it's showing me that you've been lost. Be careful of those toxic inner thoughts, doubts, critiques of yourself, you know, being nasty towards yourself, any of the lower vibrations. Cleanse yourself more often. Be careful of toxic people. If you work through that toxicity and you get to that threshold and you're going to have to dive off the cliff, so you're going to come to a opportunity where you need to take that dive. It might be a bit scary because you don't know what's going to be, you know, how deep is the water when you take the dive. But you're going to have to take that dive off that threshold. But it's a good energy to be in. So just be careful of I live in a beautiful and bright. I haven't worked for months due to unwell. So, Kat, have you checked yourself energetically in case you're under a bit of psychic attack? Do you have any past loved ones who could be sending, like past relationships that could be sending you toxic thoughts and projections. You might need to do some cutting of the cords. And drop that card again. So you might need to do some cutting of the cords or ending of sacred contracts as well, just so you don't get any more projections towards yourself. And also, how are your thoughts towards yourself? Are you nice and nourishing and positive, or are you negative towards yourself? You need to ask those questions. And trying to stay away from toxic people. Perfect. Okay, so let's see. Unfortunately, I've got nothing but my beloved spammers. Can somebody ask a question? All I've got is Amelie Dread. Here we go, Maria Toff. Okay. Oh, nope, I missed that one. So, let's see, Maria. You got the Judge. So the Judge is, really, you have to ask yourself, are you being judgmental towards yourself or to other people at all in your life? Or are other people judging you? Do you feel like you're judged by something? So this card comes through and it can be judging yourself, or it can be others are judging me. So let's have a look. You got the Storm, which is chaos energy, storm in a teacup. So something might be going on soon, which is a little bit chaotic. Coming up to Christmas, how's your relationship with all your family? Have you got a lot of change and transformation happening at the moment? It's like a sudden bolt. You've got the Poet. So the Poet is actually a card where you go quite deep into your psyche. It can be very much about your gifts and talents, or wounds and past life stuff, all those things. Definitely being judged by past work manager. Okay, so that Storm energy, Maria, do you know what the is, when it comes through, it can be epiphanies, it can be complete and sudden change. But it's kind of a very turbulent energy, so it's a bit of a shock, if that makes sense. Like, oh, I didn't know that was there. I didn't know that person was doing that, or how dare they do this to me? Like, it's a sudden thing that happens to you. Now, Amelie Dread, you won't give up. I've been very nice. Don't know if I want to get mad. Then we've got the Poet, and that Poet is it's like a bridge. You're a bridge as well. So it means that like poets would go and experience quite turbulent times, emotional times, and then they can almost experience depression, or they could experience highs and lows, and they take those experiences back and they would exquisitely express it for other people. So I wonder whether or not you're somebody who feels very deeply and you don't express that to people. Are you holding back your truths? Do you have desires to write? Do you have desires to be creative and you're suppressing that? The Poet is just such a beautiful, it's just such a beautiful energy. And the Poet can usually really express themselves in such a fantastic way. Sorry to interrupt, but is this live stream playing up, hun? It's fine for me, but because Amelie just keeps spamming, I'm wondering whether or not that's affecting the live. Is there anyone that can right click on his details and press report or ban? you can report him as spam. So the poet energy, Maria, it's quite potent. You go quite deep into, well, why is this happening to me? What is the reasonings behind why they're doing this? What is the other person's archetypes and issues? Do they have mental illnesses? Like, the poet can go really deep into the psyche and explore all aspects quite deeply. They can even experience a bit of anxiety or depression and different things, but they can express it so exquisitely to people. So, which has upset toxic people. That could be that storm, darling, and I would continue to keep speaking up because I think it's really important. The poet expresses it. So remember, with that poet, you don't have to attack people, or you don't have to go da-da-da-da. You just quietly and quite detachedly state the truth of the matter. You know, it's such a shame that such and such is doing this because it's highly toxic. It's such a shame that such and such acts as that way. It's quite childish, and, you know, it makes me uncomfortable. You know, you bluntly state your truth, but it's in a way where they can't go, oh, you're the irrational female, you know, and they can't go, oh, you're being a drama queen. If you get detached and you just state it as a truth, but in a really grounded way, no one can argue with that. And remember, that poet can work in how to express it in a way that other people get, because it's the bridge. So it's really potent and really lovely. Okay. Thank you, Trudy. That's a blessing. They've stopped. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, I have got, we're going to do a very quick one for you, Trudy, as a thank you, and we'll see how I'm going time-wise. Oh, you got the void space. So if you've been feeling like a little bit lost at the moment, Trudy, or you're like, I'm not sure, should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? The empty room is the void. So it's a time when you're basically resetting, and there's parts that want to come forth. Boy, that judge has come out. I think I'm going to do a Facebook Live about the judge on my page tomorrow, because it's just come up so much. I think people are judging themselves and being judged. The void. It's when parts of ourselves really want to change. Thank you so much, Trudy. So, Trudy, when your parts of yourself are wanting to change, you're facing a death and a rebirth, there's something you want to do, there's something you want to create, a business, write a book, all those things. The lightning is terrible. I'm so sorry if that's also causing issues. Now we have got the next one, which is just beautiful. It's the starborn. So when you were born, to the microsecond that you came out the womb, the stars were uniquely aligned just for you. And this archetypally says, like, there's no one else quite like you. And there's gifts and talents and abilities to be brought forth. So it's really, really lovely. Don't judge yourself if you're wanting to do this. Don't judge yourself if you're wanting to bring forth things if they're a bit scary. If you want to step up as a healer, don't judge yourself, and don't let others' projections stop you from doing it. If you want to become a stock market trader and you're worried about what your family is going to think, don't let them stop you. If you want to become a dog walker and you're worried that people are going to judge you, don't. So that starborn is really asking you, go into that void space of the empty room and the starborn and going, you know, what do I really want? What have I got that's unique about me that I want to bring forth? what do I want to do? Highly potent time to do it. I hope that helped. I've gone a little bit over time, so I'm going to have to go. So remember, I've put all the links in my description. There's the link to my business page. I do teachings about archetypes. I share interests. I do interviews. I do pop up free readings just like this one. So that's my main page. The Facebook group, Sovereign Circle with Jess Beard, that's about people who really want to work on their intentions. So they want to set an intention for the month and they want to work on it. It's a really lovely group of women. If you want to work on being brave with Facebook Lives, talk to me, tell me what you're wanting to do. I'm so willing to support you and to help you through it. I've also put the link for a free coffee chat with me. So I have 2 different coaching programs. So anybody who has repetitive self-esteem or self-sabotaging patterns, archetypes can completely change your life. They have changed my life. I've spent years studying them with Caroline Miss and Robert O'Hotto. I've spent thousands of dollars doing it, and they are my jam. They are my love of my life, and I almost levitate with soul joy when I help people with them. And I get these comments of like, oh my God, I wish I knew this years ago. And it's primal archetypes. So no matter what country you go to, I could talk to them archetypally, and they not just logically get it, you feel it in your heart and your body and your soul. So it's they're beautiful. I love them. So better run, and if you need any help, just ask. Find some connections. Come say hi. It's been such a pleasure. Thank you for spending your Friday night with me. Much love.